Well, good evening, everyone here on the Peaceful Nature Isle and those listening to us from other parts of the Caribbean, other parts of the world. We know we have listeners of Q on a regular basis, and we know also that we have listeners to our show. Welcome. Today is Monday, of course, the 12th of August, 2024. You're listening to Peaceology State. The vision of Peaceology State is to engage people in thoughts and actions that produce a more peaceful world. And again, we've said from our first show that peace is the maximum presence of the desirable with the minimum presence of the undesirable, meaning having in our life most of what we want with the least of what we do not want. Well, I am your host, Dr. Peter Keith Bennett St. Jean from Trafalgar and reside in different areas and different times. And you know formally that our co-host is Patrice KB St. Jean, who actually is not able to be in studio or remotely with us tonight. Patrice has begun her semester as a student at a university at Mizzou, where she's a journalism student and she is a student leader, leads and co-leads various organizations. And tonight she has an organization which has a meeting that coincides with the time of our show. So Patrice is regrettably not able to be with us in physicality tonight, but she is, of course, here with us in spirit. You have heard me say maybe more than once that I would prefer that we have a co host. I have a co host on every show as much as possible. And it is my desire that the co host will be someone who is younger than I am and someone who is not of the same or does not claim the same gender as I do, as Patrice is. And as a matter of fact, we're able to get that wish tonight. We have a young lady who actually will be, who not will be, is who is in studio tonight and will be the co-host for our show. And in fact, I will maybe leave that for a little bit of a surprise. Maybe I have two, maybe I have a double barrel surprise with this person. So that person, I don't know. Maybe I'll let them introduce themselves, or maybe I will tell you who the person is. And there'll be another surprise. But we also have lined up for tonight, we have Clifford Morancy and his father, Stafford Morancy, or perhaps I should have said it the other way, Stafford Morancy and his son, Clifford Morancy. But Clifford is kind of the guy, the main guy who's leading the conversation in two segments. And his father, of course, is leading in his own way. We will introduce them at the appropriate time, but we just wanted to give you a heads up that they will be our guests here tonight on Q95, the big station. I also want to announce to you, I will not be able to get into many details now because some contractual procedures are still on the way. But after tonight, we will be having our show once per month in September, October, November, December, we'll see how it goes, January, and so on. And sometimes on some Mondays, there are holidays, so there are not shows on the Monday nights there for which they're holidays, the same way like we were not here last week because it was the day to Fet Kaiche was, one of the events that happened during that time. But of course, it was August Monday. It was a national holiday, and the radio station, there's an option, but we are not holding shows during public holidays for a variety of reasons that hopefully you will agree and understand. So we will not disappear because people who listen to the show have told us how much they enjoy the show, and I thank you very much for that. And but we'll continue, and we will continue once a month as we can because the new responsibilities that I will have will prevent me from being available on the Monday nights, all Monday nights, so I can at least do the first Monday night. And I will tell you what this new responsibility will be in due time. But for now, we will leave this information like it is. So thanks for many of you who have been listening to our show. I will introduce our co host in a moment, but in our usual fashion, we will play Know the Story of Our Piece. Now, usually I play this on the accordion, and I have to admit to you the truth. It was with a great bit of dismay that about 5 minutes before the show began, I realized that I do not have my accordion. So, what I have done in the US and in other countries where I have done Peaceology workshops, I have been carrying my harmonica because if the accordion is too big to bring, sometimes I just bring the harmonica. And sometimes if I just want to have reduce my stress, increase my joy, and I don't have my friend the accordion to play, sometimes I can go to the harmonica. So I don't know if any of you have heard me play the accordion before. Maybe I do not play it online as much as I play as much as I play the accordion. So I'm going to give you a rendition of Know the Story of Our Piece. Know the Story of Our Piece. Remind you to know the story of your piece, know the story of his peace, know the story of her peace, know the story of our peace. And then after we know the story of our peace, which is part of our theme song, not our mat, but our theme song, we will hear a song. And that song that you will hear after I play this, I would like you to, if anybody knows whose song that is, I want you to call the radio station. And our numbers on air are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257, and our overseas line is 305-432-9624. Here is the harmonica rendition of Know the Story of Our Peace. That was Know the Story of Our Peace. Yeah, well, if you didn't know I could play the harmonica, Clifford, you didn't know I could play the harmonica, right? First time you saw me play the harmonica. Not at all. He said, well, I'm going to buy you one and you're going to have to practice one time, okay? A couple times. Yes, 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 yes. Well, folks, as I promised, there is a song that we are going to play. And I want you, if you already know, if you when you hear the song, if you know the song and you know the artist associated with that song, I want you to call in and let us know. And I don't know, maybe if we feel good, we may have a surprise gift for you or something like that. Maybe you can visit the Rosa Valley somewhere. We can maybe you can work something out somehow. So if somebody knows what song that is, the song that we're about to play, you can inform us if you do. Let me again, remind you of the numbers. It's 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. Our overseas line is 305-432-9624. Again, we are here Q95, the big station, and you're listening to Peaceology State, brought to you here at the big station. Listen to the song, tell me if you know it, and call in. Later, you'll have the opportunity to say more about it. You don't know me, so you can't tell my story. But you just can't tell cause I hide it well. Liberation, baby, I need a vacation. I'm bill from bill, working on the clock for the money not right. Meditation, that's all we need to maintain strong. Even when you're strong, the frustration, come on and on. Don't tell me nothing. I feel the pressure coming down. Come just to get on by. Get somebody else feeling to get on by. somebody else looking to get somebody. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Get somebody, let me get somebody. Get somebody else feeling to get somebody. Get somebody else looking to get somebody. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Get somebody, let me get somebody. You know, life can be so hard sometimes, constantly stressing, trying to make ends meet. And on top of all that pressure, you still have to worry about other people's expectations of you. But forget all of that. Do your best and live. No expectation, no matter the situation. Hold your head up high and tell yourself you're gonna be just fine. Whatever your aspirations, baby, just focus and apply. Pressure, up to reach the sky. And when you think about it, come move your body to the beat of the drum. You've been working too hard and you're always on guard. Get on back, okay, let me see how you get on back. Get on back, oh, I love it when you get on back. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Get on back. I can't. I see you want it. Turn it want it. Come and take it. Get somebody else feeling to get somebody. Get somebody else looking to get somebody. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. It's get somebody, and let me get somebody. Get somebody else feeling to get somebody. Get somebody else looking to get somebody. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. It's get somebody, and let me get somebody. Yes, world, yes, world, yes, world. You've heard it for the first time on the big station. Maybe the first time you've heard it in the world. Get on bad. I think bad in this song is BADD. Huh? And bad is like get on sassy, get on cool, get on irie. Huh? C'est pas movie, c'est pas get on movie. All right. So don't when you dance that song, you can go left and right. You can go front and back. Well, Casa, I first only, right? But that song is called Get On Bad. You might wonder, Get On Bad, what does that have to do with Peaceology? Peaceology is supposed to be low stress and high joy. And Mr. playing a song say, Get On Bad. It's not sana. That bad is a good bad. That good bad BADD. Get on sassy, get on irie. Well, the person who calls and tells us who the guest, who the artist is, the artist is actually here in studio with us. And probably that's why I didn't say what's the name of our co-host because, well, it doesn't mean that the co-host is the person itself, but who knows, look yourself. But so call in the 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257, and the overseas line is 305-432-9624. So if you call, actually, we cannot do this forever. Okay, so we're giving you 7 minutes. It's now 8:22. By 8:30, 30 minutes after 8, you get a free night at Peaceology Acres. You get a free night at Peaceology Acres to end before Friday. So it will be the last time you can check in will be Friday. So you have a 2-bedroom suite at Peaceology Acres, free of charge for you and up to 4 people. CBF quoi, pass à faire sort là. Don't get on bad. You can get on only BADD, not BAD, right? If you have to get on bad, I'm going to send it to Clifford. So Stafford will straighten you out. Yeah, Stafford and Janice will straighten you out because maybe I can't straighten you out. But no, but seriously, if you guys call in somewhere before that time, you guys want to hear the song again, you say no, man, you can call in again. So call in. And as we do that, then we're going to give them a little time to figure out what they want to call. But meanwhile, I just want to let you know that we have, besides the co-host that you will know and the special guest that's in the room, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us in the room. kind of, right? Before we get into that, we want to introduce father and son. And Clifford Morancy is here with us tonight, basically wearing two hats. Well, he has one hat on. The Stafford hat. Stafford, you have to give him your hat sometimes, right? So Clifford is wearing two hats, one inside it, but only one on his head. And as the chair of the Trafford Fokani Village Council, also as an entrepreneur that has, that continues to work with his dad, that has given him this great opportunity. And Clifford is here on two counts. So you remember the last show, he mentioned about what we anticipated for Fetkaiche. Last year, what we did, what we accomplished, what we learned, and he said what changes were going to be done in Fetkaiche for 2024. And we have the opportunity to be in studio. I didn't know I'm not supposed to still be here this week, but the Lord wanted me to be here, so we are here. And Clifford and Stafford were not able to be here 2 weeks ago, but they're able to be here tonight, and we're glad to have them. So he will tell us a bit about how Fetkaiche went, what did it meet, what did it fall short, if there's such a thing. But we're more interested in what it was able to accomplish and what it seeks to add on, because there are still some elements that we lament or we see. There's always room for growth. So as we grow, what would we add next year to build on bringing back, or not bringing back, actually, I would say bring back the glory of Fetkaiche. We have the glory of Fetkaiche, but we remember, those of us who lament or those of us who think about certain vibrant activities and so on, we have some enjoyments now, but some things we may want to see. And during the last show, remember somebody had mentioned about bringing like a princess show and things like that. So we'll talk about next year what we'll probably look at based on how we have learned, what we've done better this year compared to last year, and what we hope to do better, because there were some new interesting and exciting elements this year. So we'll talk about that, and then Clifford is with that other hat that he's wearing. In my book, Pockets of Crime, I mentioned that in the high crime areas of Chicago, one of the things that I observed is that helped to explain some of the violent problems in Chicago is something that I referred to as intergenerational failure. That means that there were some people that they grew up poor, and the grandmother or the grandfather they were able to get a job at the post office, or they were able to get a little job, and they were able to buy a home and have a home. They were able to buy a car, they were able to have a business. But their children failed to be able to carry on. In fact, sometimes the people lost their homes. Sometimes the businesses failed because the children didn't step up. Either the parents decided not to show like whatever it is. I mean, they're speaking curl in Chicago, but they would say, "Oh, it's my business. I dine with it, whatever." Or the children just decided, "Well, I'll just wait for something to happen." And sometimes before people leave the earth, mischief has been done to them because children are around looking to scramble over craps or whatever they think the parents had. But I think Stafford and Clifford and Stafford and his family are an exception to that. And this is something I observe, and in keeping with Peaceology, the idea of low stress and high joy, to say how can we live lives of low stress, how can we live lives of high joy. And we know a lot about how we fail, but we know very little about how we succeed. So we thought that we would bring Clifford and Stafford in tonight to say, to greet us and to have some conversation with us. So we'll just invite them to the mic. Stafford, tell the world good night. I know you are accustomed to this radio thing. You are a celebrity all over the place. Welcome. Thanks, Stafford, for being here tonight.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity tonight. It's great. I think Mr. Keith Saint Jean is doing a wonderful job because so far I wanted to express myself in that situation, because I'm Stafford Morancy, owner of Morancy and Sons. But first I was Stafford Morancy, but now it became Morancy and Sons, and I give God the praise that I could have two sons. At least one is there with me and one is in Florida, America. So I'm glad to be here with him this evening,
right,
to share whatever the questions they ask me or what we have to talk about to help, because I know our country, Dominica, we need those talks. How we can strengthen young people, because too many times some young people feel that's how things bad with us and it will continue like that. But I say no, it's not like that.
Well, that's
We
good.
need to renew our mind. You see that mind we have, we live in a stage now where we have to renew our mind. So far, I'm thankful to be here this evening. Whatever comes, I will see how can I answer some of the questions.
Thank you. And one of the questions, don't answer it now.
Okay.
I can read mine sometimes, huh? And I know there are about two listeners that are saying Stafford has children that are not only sons. So why Morancy and sons and not sons? So don't answer now. Okay?
I
So
know.
the person I'm reading their mind,
Yes,
okay, they're going to
yes,
text
yes.
that. So get
Yes,
ready for that. Okay?
yes.
Get ready for that. Get ready for it. Even if they don't answer,
Yeah,
and even if they didn't ask the question,
I'm ready.
answer it. You ready for
I
it?
think of it all.
At Little Stafford. Now I can call you Little Stafford now, even if you're taller than him. You're not bigger than him, you know, even if you're taller than him.
No,
Okay.
nothing.
Okay, you're right. So introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Clifford Morancy. I'm managing director of Morancy and Sons Limited. As you know, it's a family-based company. I'm also the owner of Viewpoint Restaurant and Bar. I also have a company called Y2J Tours and Taxi. Besides that, I'm still a dad, a husband. So, as you said, many hats, many hats. So basically, that's me in a nutshell. I would like to say, basically, that describes who I am on a whole. My life is surrounded around business and family. I'm strongly rooted by that. I assume that comes from my dad and my mom. And, I would say we're a close knit family in the sense of how we operate and how we deal with each other on a day to day basis. As you know, every family always has their ups and downs, their rough times going forward. But I like to say we have a solid foundation as to where we are as a family base.
Yes, and I must say, your father has an excellent wife. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that because she's my first cousin, but maybe a little bit too, right? But Janice is, behind and alongside any great person is sometimes someone who's even greater, and we cannot discount
Amen.
the presence of our spouses, our friend, and for those of us who are men, the women in our lives, from our mothers, our sisters, our wives, our friends, our girlfriends, whatever, the women play such an important part beyond giving us the impossible, which is birth, right? Only that they can give the impossible that can be artificial and the nurturing that mothers provide. And women provide, whether they're mothers or not. And so we hope to also hear, even if the daughters, your sisters are not there, and your mother is not here, we would like you to speak not for them, but speak in reflection of their reality as much as you tell the richness of the story that we are trying to understand. Stafford's background, how he got to think about starting the type of work he did, what type of triumphs and struggles. Maybe he had everything so great. Maybe his mother left him $1 million. His father left him 2 million. Massive. Maybe who knows? So we'll get to that. But you know what? It's 8:32 and no one has called. So I'm going to give you guys a hint because I suspect I suspect our co-host wants to say something, but we cannot let her jump out of the bag yet. So I'm going to give you guys a hint. So we're going to hear the song again, and that person who sings the song was should I give? I don't want to give out too much information. Okay. Some people are saying, I wonder if she's from the Rosa Valley because Keith, it seems only about the Rosa Valley you're talking, man. You talk to Clifford, you're talking about Peanuts Bar, you talk about Merle Bar, you talk about Talisa's shop, like you're talking about Sandrin's place, talking about Viewpoint. So somebody said, well, I'm going to guess that person is from the Rosa Valley. Guess what? You are right. That person is from the Rosa Valley, right? So, and you guys might say, well, maybe because we're in Q95 and that person's song so good, maybe the person was a contestant on Q Talent Show. I won't tell you what year. Yes, you are right. The person is from the Rosa Valley and that person was a contestant in Q Talent. So I've given you 3 more minutes. It's now 8:33. And if you call in and you know the person's name, even if you pronounce it wrong, you're still going to be able to stay at Peaceology Acres for one night, 2 rooms, with as many as 4 people as that you can have. If you can call, actually, let's give them a few more minutes. We're going to play the song one more time. And you can tell me, even when you call, why you think that song is linked to Peaceology, and tell us who the artist is so you can be our first guest in Unit 2 at Peaceology Acres. So here is the song again, Get On Bad. No matter how it's spelled, I say it's BADD. Get on sassy, get on wassy. Get that stress out of you. Right here. You don't know me, so you can't know my story. I've been living in hell, but you just can't tell cause I hide it well. Liberation, baby, I need a vacation. I'm barely working on the clock for the money, not a crime. Meditation, that's all we need to maintain strong. Even when you're strong, the frustration go on and on. Don't tell me nothing. Feel the pressure coming down. It comes to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm feeling to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm looking to get on by. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Get on by, even let me get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm feeling to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm looking to get on by. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Even let me get on by. You know, life can be so hard sometimes, constantly stressing, trying to make ends meet. And on top of all that pressure, you still have to worry about other people's expectations. Well. I guess we have a caller. I guess the caller is about to tell us. A caller, you are live on the air. Go ahead. Thank you for calling.
Ronald House.
Ronald Charles sounding like a girl like that now. Okay, good attempt. You have the Rosa Valley right. I have to give you that. You have the Rosa Valley. I don't know if he was a contestant at talent of Q talents Q talent show, but maybe he thought about it. He's a musician. Good caller. You had something right. You did get someone from the Rosa Valley. But the person is a woman and a contestant. Another one. Another caller. You're a scholar. You are on the air. You're live.
Hi.
Good night.
Good night. I'm calling in
Yes.
for the artist.
Okay. Who's that? Who's the person?
This is Sisterine.
Sisterin. Sisterin. I have not heard of Sisterin. Are you Sisterin? The person said no. It's not Sisterin.
She probably misunderstood. Ask her what's the name of the artist.
Oh, what is the name of the artist, not the song?
No, the name of the artist is Tahira. But I thought you asked me my name, so I said my name is Sisterine.
Oh,
but
your
I'm calling
name.
for Tahira, the artist.
Oh, sorry. I maybe I said the wrong thing. Sorry. I meant to ask you for her name, not your name. Sisterin, thank you. Tahira, you know her last name now? You know
Say
her
that again?
Do you know her last name?
Tahira John Constance.
What? Boy, you know a lot, man. How come you know all that? You can sing that. You can sing what the song is about. You can sing that. Give us a cappella version. You can. I mean, can you do all that, okay? Because you are the winner, huh? No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to sing. I'm just kidding. So I don't know.
Get on bad.
Get on bad. Okay, get on bad. Okay, so I need you to text me. I'm going to give you a number where I want you to text me your information because you are indeed the winner. It is Tyra John Constant, as she said. She gave it a whole. You could have took that away.
Artist name is just Tahira.
There we go, Tahira. Tell him how to say it. She'll tell you. All right, she don't want you to give her government out. So, but that's good. But you at least showed that you know for sure. You were not just picking this out of Facebook or wherever. So, tell me the right spelling of your name. Go ahead. You forgot how to spell your name, man.
Okay, I'm gonna give you another name. Kera.
Okay. KRA. Okay, so Kara, I need you to. I'm going to give you a number that I want you to text. Are you in the in Dominica or you're international?
Yes,
You're in
yes,
Dominica.
I'm in Dominica.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a number that I want you to text to WhatsApp.
Okay.
You'll give me your info so that I can arrange with you for the one night that you'll have at Peaceology Acres to end before Saturday morning. So the number is 716
716
603
603
0992.
0992. Okay. 716 603 0992.
Yes, yes. And anybody else who wants that number to be able to stay at Peaceology Acres or anything related to Peaceology, this is our business number. And thank you so much, Kara. So how were you able to pick up that that's the artist of the song?
Because I follow her on Instagram. Get the
Nah, you can sing. You have a backup singer there, you know.
goddess of vibes.
Hopefully, when you visit us, Pisara Jamaica, you'll pick a guest appearance and wave to the princess. Wave you got the princess. No, you know, she said she was sure and wave. She will absolutely. Well, good. Well, we look forward to meeting you and thank you so much for calling and being the winner of our question here. And in fact, what we're gonna do again, we're gonna play that song one more time before we bring on the artist. Well, is that? I guess we let the cat out of the bag. We say you're the co-host and the artist, or is it? Or did we do that right? In case you didn't figure out, she's our co-host as well. So here's the song one more time.
Okay.
Good night. Thank you so
Good
much.
night.
You don't know me, so you can't know my story. Been living in hell, but you just can't tell it to hide it well. Liberation, baby, I need a vacation. I got bill from bill, you working on the five for the money not right. Meditation, that's all we need to maintain strong. Even when you're strong, the frustration go on and on. So don't tell me nothing. I feel the pressure coming down. Come just to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm feeling to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm looking to get on by. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Get on by, baby, let me get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm feeling to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm looking to get on by. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. You know, life can be so hard sometimes. Constantly stressed, trying to make ends meet. And on top of all that pressure, you still have to worry about other people's expectations of you. But forget all of that. Do your best and live. Expectation, no matter the situation. Hold your head up high and tell yourself you'll be just fine. Whatever your aspirations, baby, just focus and apply. Pressure, pressure, up to your reach sky. And when you think right, it comes. Yeah, body to the beat of the drum. You be working too hard and you're always on guard. Get on back. Okay, let me see how you get on back. Get on back. Oh, I love it when you get on back. Deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Somebody get on back. Take it. See you want it. Tell me what you want it. Come and take it. Get somebody else I'm feeling to get somebody. Get somebody else I'm looking to get somebody. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. It's get somebody. What you and let me get somebody. Get somebody else I'm feeling to get somebody. Get somebody else I'm looking to get somebody. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. It's get somebody. What you and let me get somebody.
Yes, yes, yes. Get on bad by one name. Tahira. Yes, Tahira, Tahira. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I'm still learning the product. Tahira, Tahira. You say if you want to, advertising tells us that if you want to remember something, you say it 7 times, at least 7 times. So if Clifford, if I don't know, if I you just introduce him, say hi, what's your name? So Clifford. Clifford what? Clifford Morancy. Clifford Morancy. Oh, that's a great name, Clifford. Oh, Clifford, where are you from, Clifford? Right? See how many times? So that's how you say it a few times. So after you say someone like 7 times, your mind starts to think about it. Just like when you advertise, you need to get that message to someone at least 7 times for them to say, oh, I remember something like that. And of course, if you do this twice, like 14 times, and so then the memory picks it up a little bit. So our show, of course, this is a paid on-air show, and although we have only one so far, I'm paid sponsor for a show. It's not by for any other reasons besides we just decided not to collect money yet. We just like to, But so Peter Nicholas, I was over at Mayfield's place. I've had River Rock, and Fitz said, Keith, I want to be the first sponsor of your show. He went in his pocket, took out $100, and said, here for that. And Fitz is actually planning on developing a retreat over at his place, Fitz Peter Nicholas' place in Trafalgar. And Fitz, I thank you again for being our first sponsor. Lucy over in Lubier area there, man. That's where tonight I might stop there and get a little couple. I think I Macadamon Zafamwe. But when I go there, certain something I like. I'm a guy like particular things, but I don't want all to go and eat all the thing I want and buy it before I get. So I will tell you what I will tell you. But if you think it's too fried fish and too dry bakes I get in, well, maybe you're right. Okay. LA Deputy, actually, I haven't even sent them a bill or anything, but every time I go, I get such great service from LA Deputy and Company, actually, and also Burton and Company, which I actually shopped there today as well. I got some elastic. Stafford, I made a bamboo stove, and I bought a cylinder. I went by LA Deputy today, and I bought some elastic to put a skirt on the cylinder. So when you watch the cylinder, you're going to see a skirt around a madras skirt around the cylinder, a bamboo stove. So and today the folks at LWD helped me out. The fabric store helped me out well, and the folks over in the hardware store always, Shirley, Ophelia, Marilyn, and this other people are always willing to help, and the wonderful security guard there at the place, and of course Morancy and Sons. Whether you want your radiator, your bricks, your pots, whether you want to go up Trafalgar, but you guys have some good who's the cook in the kitchen? But I had some good goat water and some good other stuff. What are some of the things on the menu, Kuba?
Well, we do wing nights every Friday night, so we have dollar wings every Friday.
Dollar wings?
Yeah.
Let
me tell you, no matter, even if I want to stop it, I cannot stop because people take come for my neck. I'm not going to lie to
What night you say?
That's every Friday night.
What? I'll still be wrong, man.
Yeah.
So I can go and buy 200 wings?
You can come by any time you want it to be ready.
Well, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
So I was asking, so what are some of those nice soups? The guy had a nice soup by you guys.
Yeah, it's a goat water, I believe.
Yeah.
Goat water.
And you made that yourself?
Well, my mom. Yeah, on point.
So you don't take credit. You don't take your mom credit for yourself.
I cannot do it. That's right.
You can still get a volley, boy.
I'm not doubting it. Well, besides that, also we do catering as well. We do catering. We rent for events, birthday parties, everything along with it. So we're not limiting ourselves after what.
And I don't want to overdo it because eventually we're going to move out of Upper Village, move out of Trafalgar. But Peaceology was born in Trafalgar. Like I said, if there was no Trafalgar, there was no Rosa Valley, there was no Dominica, there'd be no Peaceology. Because the love that I feel, the love that I felt from a child, the love I feel now, the love that even these little children that walk by and say good morning, and those types of things, that make us feel so good that, and right in the area where we are there, because we are neighbors, and with Irma's place and Sanjin's place, Mansion Branch, and Merle's place, and the shop, and over by Ivo. I mean, and there are other places, of course, in the lower village, in the lower part of the village, with different shops, Rose and Shop and others. All of the businesses in our community, we want to thank them for for helping to make our place a vibrant place, and other parts of the Roseau Valley and other parts of Dominica as well. But as we continue to build Peaceology, we'll talk about some other areas and our good friends in Silver Lake, that we work with, and Bath State, and people in other different communities. I really want to reach out and thank you for being what you are in terms of helping to create a vibrant community. So now we get to hear our co-host. Let me see, 49 minutes later. So tell us who you are, our co-host. Tell the world again.
All right, so good night to the listening public. My name is Tahira. I am from the village of Trafalgar, and I'm an artist. And you guys just heard my song "Get On Back."
Yes, and she was keeping this a secret. And I know Clifford is thinking something I can read minds. So Clifford, tell me the question that I think you were thinking to ask her.
Well, I will start by saying we've been looking for local artists to perform for the feast. And I'm surprised that you didn't come to us. So the question is, why have you been hiding your talent and your music away from us?
I have not been hiding it. It's just that the way things happen, I happened to come here very last minute. And when I came, it was like the same weekend of the feast. So it's like it was, yeah. So I didn't do it on purpose.
Yes, I think we have a caller. We try to not let our callers wait. The caller went. Okay. Just let me know whenever a caller comes on. We'd like to get them the courtesy of to let them be heard. And of course, if you want to call in at 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257, 305-432-9624. We're here on the big station, Peaceology State. So you were not trying to keep it a secret?
No. The song has been out for about a little over a month now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brand new, fresh.
Yes.
Still smelling new like a coffee.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Stafford. How you like the song? How you like the song? It's bad. What? That's what. So the men of great wisdom have only few words. It's bad. It's bad. That's
Thank
really
you,
good.
thank
That's really, really good stuff. So far. So now you are a co-host now, part of what you. Any comments? We have any comments on Facebook yet that you want to tell us about? Anybody saying anything?
Somebody said congratulations to the winner. So
Congratulations.
good job,
again.
Kara.
Mm-hmm.
I see some clapping hands.
Okay.
And happy Monday, Peaceology State.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Very good and encouraging comments.
Yes. That's very good. And we are also live on Facebook for those of you who have Facebook viewers live here on Facebook. So Stafford, tell us something about who you are. You are known by many. You are not known by some, but some people may or may not know who you are. Who they think you are may not be, and who they don't think you are, you may be. So tell us your own story as early back as you want to go about who you are, so people can understand.
Well, so far, I think the whole of Dominica know me.
Okay.
They just know me as Stafford Morancy, as a young man looking for survival, coming up from a poor family, struggling. But the first thing I want to say tonight is I want to give thanks to the population of Dominica, because I know people from Caribrism, Marigot, Wesley, all around Dominica, Granby, all about, gave me good support as a young person.
Okay.
Encouraging me in all my struggles, and that's why it's difficult now. My son take over the business. He running the business, and it's a kind of it. It put a feeling in me. I would like to see him treat the older set of people, and I know he will do it. treat them with, care, respect, because I want him to understand that this is the set of people who make me what I am today. You understand? And I don't want to forget that.
Yes, well, that's a good thing. Every now and then we'll stop in. There's a caller calling in. Stuff for the good contribution here. Caller is gone now. So if I interrupt you when the caller comes
No
in,
problem.
please excuse me. Yeah. So yeah, you want him to realize that part of the foundation is it relates to the elderly and to continue to treat them with respect. Clifford, you taking notes? Okay. All right, caller, you're on the air. Yes.
Yeah.
Good evening, caller.
Hello.
Thank you for calling Peaceology State.
Good.
Yes, I guess the person may have been trying to get some. Thanks for calling anyway, caller. Yeah, so that's one thing. The elder people who are more advanced in age help to be the foundation of what you are, and you want them to you want the company to treat them well. Very good.
Yeah. And I see, as my son, I think, to me, he think the way I used to think, the way I think as a young person.
Okay.
I seen it in him.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So I am, and he always speak to me, ask me questions, and it's just nice about it. But going back to my young days, my boy, it was tight.
Tell me more.
As you know, my mother had 11 children.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, and my father died early, and I was the one who had to go to work and to send my brothers and sisters to school. I had to drop from school because my parents couldn't afford to send me to high school. I still going to give you all a joke tonight there, because when I went and sit exam to go to a high school, my mother was praying that I would fail.
Oh, explain
and you see, it was tight for me to understand that, because when your mother tell you, "I'm praying for you to fail," you would say she don't love you.
Wow.
No, it wasn't that.
Tell me
what it really meant is that if you pass, I'm not able to send you to school. It will look bad. So she rather I fail than I pass, and then I can go to high school. Now we're living in a time now that the government will help. Right. But in those times, it didn't have that government helping parents to send children to school. No. You cannot buy uniform. You can't buy books. You can't go to school. So it was very, challenging. It was tight, and sometimes it make me lose my love for my mother.
Okay.
But as I get older, I could understand what my mother really mean by that. By not praying for me to fail, because she told me so. You understand? So it was a struggle. Then my mother, when I left Rosewood Boys School, my mother sent me to work with Shillingford, AC Shillingford, with T.D. Shillingford, as a man lifting a bag of flour, sugar, putting it on vehicles, It was tough. And my mother, after that, my mother get to see, that used to, when she come in the business place and have to see me lifting up a bag of flour, 100 pounds, little boy, no strength, because she could not well maintain us. My mother used to roast flour and thing on coal pot for us to eat, because she couldn't afford to buy nothing to send us to school. So it was a struggle. And tonight I have to say that, while I was when I was about leaving school, I used to take a stone, 2 stones, one in my left hand and one in my right hand, and bring it home. And I take in a hammer and I break in the stones.
Wow.
That because I wanted to have my house, my own home. So I used to break the stones and pack them in a corner. Then I take 2x2 posts and I make it a square, and I made my flowered blocks so that I can put when I build it to design my little room and porch. So I go through all those struggles, my boy. Because one thing I had in my mind is I don't want my children to go through that struggle. And God, I know God has done a lot for me. As I always say, money cannot separate me from God. Nothing. Nothing can separate me from the love of God. Nothing. Not my children, not my wife, not nobody can separate me from God. Because I know what God has done for me. And today to me, I'm in heaven.
That's good.
And what make it so nice for me now is to have my son on the side of me, Clifford Morancy, working together with me to see that he maintained me till death. And that's what that's what's in his mind, that Clifford don't want to see me suffer, begging. And to me, I can let go everything for him because I sure he will not see his mother and father begging by the side of the road.
Wow. That's this good.
If he has a vehicle and that is the vehicle he need, he will sell it to see that we eat.
And I can see the pride in your face.
Yeah, because it was a struggle. And that's why it get me to, try to, I want to help people. I want to help young people. I want them to understand that not because their parents didn't have anything that they cannot make something out of themselves. They can.
Wow.
They can.
Stafford, thank you so much for sharing the story with us. We're right at the top of the hour now. The first hour of the show has gone. It's now 9 p.m. here on the 12th day of August of 2024. We're here at the big station, Q95, Peaceology State. I'm trying to get the name right. Tahira is our co-host instead of Patrice. And we have Stafford Morancy and Clifford Morancy here in studio with us. And Bambi's here always. I won't say much of what he said, but he feels an honor, as he told me tonight, to be part of our show and helping us with the switchboard. And we are so grateful for that. And Stafford, when we come back, I'm going to ask Clifford to explain, to give us a response to kind of what you've said and to tell us his own story. But when we come back to you, I want you to think about telling us what made you choose the profession that you did and why did you choose that type of business? I want you to think about that so you can answer after Clifford shares the mic with you. And Clifford, so what is one of your reflections of what your father has said and how does that influence your own self?
Honestly, I always tell people, I'm honest with my situation always in life, right? I did not have to go through a quarter, not 5% of what my parents did. And that's a fact. It did not, although I did not go through it personally, but I have never tried not to be open towards understanding it, right? I'm the last of 4 of my parents' children. 4 of us have the same mom, same dad. My eldest brother and my brother and my eldest sister technically went through the harder times than me and my second sister did, right? So they understand it a little better in terms of the struggles. What I try and do is always remain humble throughout whatever it is, because I understand in life you can lose it faster than you get it, right? And if you don't appreciate what you have and how you came about getting it, then it will be lost instantly, right? Now, a lot of what my dad went through is it reminds me why I have to work so hard, right? And I keep on telling people, for me, working hard as I do is something that they might see as a choice, but for me, it's a must, right? Because a lot of times throughout the second generation, when you talk about generational wealth and how money moves across, a lot of times the people that comes after the stability, the foundation, the getting the financial freedom, they tend to take advantage of that and lose sight, right? But what I like to do is listen to the history of what my parents go through and understand that how well I have it and understand that I have generations after me to come.
Wow.
So I prepare for that, right? Because what I never want to happen is the generation after me to come to reverse, to revert back to what they were. And it's very easy for that to happen. I can tell anyone that, right? And my father's right. I will literally do anything to see my parents not go back to that point, no matter what it takes.
That's a blessing.
That's a guarantee, right?
Wow.
I wake up every day with that in my mind. I go to sleep every day with that in my mind. I tell people I work 7 days a week, tirelessly. My dad even asks me sometimes I need to take a rest.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
But you have to show that level of commitment. And for me, the drive is never financial. The drive is not about money because I can and you can make money in multiple ways.
Right.
Right? The drive is not that. And as soon as your drive and your motivation is money, as soon as the money stops, you stop become motivated. Right? So if your motivation itself is something deeper than finance, it's family, it's whatever it may be, then you have a continuous motivation and drive. Right? So with my parents here, and then I look at my siblings that that we need that form of that continuation. I look at my nieces, my nephews, people that even though I don't directly financially support in a sense, but you never know where things may fall. Right? And also I look at the people that were in my dad's situation, the people that you can inspire that are younger than you to tell them that there is a way to just move out of the situation that they are in if they are willing to make that level of sacrifice.
Wow.
It all starts with that. It's humility, it's sacrifice, it's discipline, it's understanding that even though you further than where someone else is, there's someone else further than you. And there's still someone else behind you creeping up.
So, Tyra, what have you been thinking? I say that you've been soaking this in. What are the thoughts that are running through your mind? The questions you have for our guests?
Well, first of all, I want to say that it's a pleasure to be sitting here with you guys. I grew up in the village knowing you all, but I've never really had the opportunity to sit and talk with you. So it's nice to hear your story, and I have a deep appreciation for anybody who is building from the ground up. And I must say that I'm proud, of how far you guys have come, and the fact that you've passed that on to your children, and they too can go ahead and have their families and pass that on to their children as well. I guess I should ask, like, what's one thing that you are most grateful for in all of your journey, everything that you've been through? What's the one thing that you're most grateful for?
Well, what I would say really is we know in marriage life it's a challenge. It's a challenge. Let's do we're not going to hide that. It's a challenge. And true, and in fact, if you do put God first in your marriage, you can be in a lot of trouble. So I would say my wife is a very strong person, and I would say because many decisions I would take in life, it would put some pressure on her. Let's put it that way. If you'd have to give your wife $500 for the week, and you're watching and give her 100, it's not any woman that will stand there. You understand? But I had to do that because I wanted to take the whole family to a different level. So I had to sacrifice. But by that, my wife's still not getting the right kind of treatment and things she needed, and it could cause a woman to leave you. Your wife could leave you and go and meet a man that can give her more money. Let's face it.
Okay.
So I am thankful to God that at least today I can explain to her those things that happened. It wasn't a wickedness, anything wicked I was doing to her. But what I was trying to do is to put the family in a foundation there for like today now. You see now,
Mm.
we are firm. We are firm by the grace of God.
So you're saying that you had to make some sacrifices,
Sacrifice, yeah.
and although an individual person may seem like they're losing out,
Yes.
the whole family is benefiting.
Benefiting.
You know, and Stafford, that's a very key note to what I referred when I introduced you and Clifford talking about intergenerational failure. People who did okay and their children did worse. Because sometimes the spirit that you have just expressed about the discipline to make the sacrifices, to delay a gratification, and to let things grow, and hopefully communicate what you're doing. Because sometimes there are negative consequences of well-intended actions. That means to say things that you intend to do very well, there are negative outcomes. And one of the ways that you can heal the negative consequences of well-intended actions is to have proper communication. So if you tell your wife, and one should not assume that the wife is supposed to stay home and get money from the husband, because sometimes the reverse is true.
Yeah.
And women have so many great values beyond the receiving things. In fact, women probably give more than probably most of the times give more than they get.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure you're not giving an assumption that the role of your wife is to sit and get money and
No,
get
no,
goods
no,
from
no,
you.
no,
That's not
no,
what you're
no,
saying.
no,
So I don't want people to
no, no,
misunderstand
no,
that.
no,
I
no,
don't
they
want people to
understand.
I want people to misunderstand
I
that.
glad you, I glad
Yeah,
you, yeah.
I want to
thank you.
clarify that.
Yeah.
But what you are saying is that everybody has a value to bring to the family,
Yeah.
and you have a responsibility because you are the one that asked your wife to marry her.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
the one that initiates having children.
Yeah.
So you want to stand up and you have a plan for her and a plan for your family. And in that plan, because you do not have unlimited resources, you have to make some sacrifices. And sometimes she might seem like she's losing at the moment, but she's winning in the future. That is kind of what I heard you say. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Well, we are going to take a little bit of a breather, and as we do on Peaceology State, we feature one artist at a time. This time we happen to get I was thinking, I don't know if you ever heard that commercial, double your pleasure with double mint gum, right? So I feel like getting a dope out two there, 2 for 1. We have a co-host and an artist, and we're going to listen to Get On Bad, a song that Stafford said is bad.
Yeah, it's
Right
bad.
here in Q95.
Bad.
You don't know me, so you can't know my story. I've been living in hell, but you just can't tell cause I hide it well. Liberation, baby, I need a vacation. I'm bill from bill, you working on the clock, but the money not right. Meditation, now we need to maintain strong. Even when you're strong, the frustration go on and on. Don't tell me nothing. I feel the pressure coming down. Comes to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm feeling to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm looking to get on by. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Get on by, let me get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm feeling to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm looking to get on by. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Let me get on by. You know, life can be so hard sometimes. Constantly stressing, trying to make ends meet. And on top of all that pressure, you still have to worry about other people's expectations of you. But forget all of that. Do your best and live. No expectation, no matter the situation. Hold your head up high and tell yourself you'll be just fine. Whatever your aspirations, baby, just focus and apply. Pressure, pressure, not to reach these skies. And when you think about it comes, yeah, body to the beat of the drum. You're working too hard and you're almost on guard. Get on back, okay, let me see how you get on back. Get on back, for one, love you when you get on back. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Get on back, so I can get on back. I can't. I see you want it. Turn me on it. Come and take it. somebody else I'm feeling to get somebody. Get somebody else I'm looking to get somebody. One deep frustration, don't take a hold. It's get somebody, move up you and let me get somebody. Get somebody else I'm feeling to get somebody. Get somebody else I'm looking to get somebody. One deep frustration, don't take a hold. It's get somebody, move up you and let me get somebody.
Yeah, Tara. I suspect that after the show, maybe I guess I give up my number again, 716-603-0992. I guess maybe I guess I have to be a manager. I expect him, you know. Stafford be splitting the money, boy. Stafford out to be Stafford and Cleveland. We have a new company, you guys, right? Yeah, they could go from viewpoint to Peaceology, from entire good stuff, good music. Later on, after we wind up with the Morancies, father and son will be talking to our special. You guys can welcome to stay with us. I know you guys probably want to go home, but you're tired of us already. But if only on the hang out, if we're still, you can stay. The Tyra telling the story. You might want to hear her same story as to how she arrived to the greatness that you guys have arrived. So, Tyra, what are our fans saying? What are our listeners saying here on Facebook?
Yes. So one person is saying congratulations to the winner. Another person said, thanks for sharing such a personal story, Mr. Morancy. And then we have another one said, I know Mr. Stafford Morancy as a humble and hardworking Dominican who helps and respects people. His wife is also a hardworking, respectful woman. They have raised their children to follow their footsteps and be grateful. And we have one more which says, listen to his son's wisdom.
You're a wise fella.
Yes, indeed.
Don't if your head haven't come big, don't make your head big. I see that hat growing there. No bad. Stafford will check you, because Stafford will tell you, listen, boy, I'm a tough fella, I'm not easy, All right, call us 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097-616, 4257, and overseas line is 305-432-9624. We're here on the 12th day of August of the year 2024. You listen to Peaceology State right here on the big station. Dr. Peter KB St. Jean. I am your host, Tahira. I want to say the rest of her names, but that goes by one name.
Tahira.
Tahira. I have to practice it still. Tahira. That's a beautiful name. You'll tell us what that name come from. And my partner Eddie John. I know Eddie probably had that. This name is as beautiful as a painting from Eddie John. So I'm pretty sure he considers your name a work of art. It sounds like a work of art. Yes. So she's here with us. The double role as sitting in as our co-host. Patricia will be so proud of you that you are in her stead tonight, and as she's busy, and we'll look forward to hearing about your musical pursuits. So before the break, Stafford, we said that we would ask you, what motivated you to begin that kind of business? You could have been a pilot, you could be a prime minister. Okay, I won't go there. But you chose to do. Tell us exactly what was that first profession that really started.
I could tell you.
Okay.
You see, as I told you all early at first, that my mother, would pray that I fail. But because she could not send me to school, so then my mother sent me to work at Shillingford. And when my mother see how they treated me, she tell me, no. You're going to learn a trade. And I think my mother took me to Alan Caesar to learn to do welding. But Mr. Caesar told her she have to pay every month for me to learn to weld. And then she took me there, and every month my mother would go and pay Alan Caesar for me to learn the trade. But little thing, in those times, maybe it was good money, but pay for me to learn the trade. And I stayed there with I stayed working with Alan Caesar for 15 years. Boy, sometimes no pay. I don't get pay. After a few years, no, I had to stay around 4 years learning.
Apprenticeship.
Yeah. Then Caesar start paying me, but next to nothing. But sometimes when the Friday come for me to get pay, no pay. I don't get nothing from him. But I wasn't interested in money. I was interested. I want to learn to weld, and I want to, be a professional welder. And so I stayed there 15 years.
Wow.
Learning. I'm doing my welding, and after that, after 15 years, I think a hurricane passed, and Caesar said he don't want none of us there anymore. So I had to go on my own. So I went River Street in Roseau.
By Afro, Afro in the same area there,
River
right?
Bank there, and I
Right.
put a bottle of gas, and I stayed by the roadside welding till when Roseau City Council took my 2 bottles of gas and they threw it in the river
Oh my goodness.
because they tried right me to come out by the side of the road.
Oh, Pakatan.
And I not listening, so they threw the both bottles, and I start crying, and I cried and I cried, and from that I start making my move. I look for a place I can. But if I give all you my story, it's
That's
sad.
okay. Tell us.
So I got a spot, the same river bank by an old lady, and I put four sticks, and I cover it with a tarpaulin, and I under that doing my welding. And what the lady would do, she would take her things from the morning when she shit in her pencil and thing, and just throw it in the garage, and then and have to be in the drain, and that's smelling, and have to be there welding, and
trying to chase you away.
Yeah, chase me away.
Guys should take Peaceology.
And struggle, and I end up, I hold up, and I decide, my boy, you see these children I have, my children, I say, I don't mind. I cannot swim, but I say, I don't mind. I have to sink in the sea or whatever to see that my children don't go through those struggles.
Okay, even if you didn't have children yet, because some
children.
You had children by that time.
Children by that time when I had my little shop, I had my children.
But that little one wasn't there yet.
No, Mister, don't know my struggle. He don't know my struggles. He don't know it.
Yeah.
But I can tell you I struggle, but it's but what really helped me in business is my radiator repairs.
Okay, tell us about that.
I start repairing radiators, and then once I say I want to get bigger into the radiator. I didn't know Grenada. I just take a flight and I go up to Grenada. When I reach to Grenada, I ask them where I can find somewhere they can repair radiators. Then they bring me by a lady, and when the lady, she brought me in her workshop, she tell those boys, show me how to build radiators, what to do. And in the end, she tell me, I'm coming to Dominica to open a radiator shop. So she tell me, you feel a radiator shop will pay me in Dominica? I say, no. I tell her Dominicans don't like to pay. That's a waste of time, because it's that I come and look for, get an idea of, so I can go in it. And I think at that time, Grenada had a factory where they build radiators.
Right.
So I went to the factory, but when I reached there, the man tell me the factory not doing too well because Trinidad giving them competition.
Okay.
So you can't compete with Trinidad. So they had to close up. But I get a little idea, and I came back to Dominica. When I came to Dominica, so I went Trinidad, not knowing Trinidad. And when I reached Trinidad, I met with a millionaire, a big money man. And he says, so what can I do for you? I say, well, I want to go into our little radiator business. And he said, I will work with you. I will send you the materials. And when you work it, you will pay me. And I stayed with that man I still with them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I still with the company.
Wow.
Nice.
Maybe 40
Wow.
something years. sending my things for me, paying in time. And that's a thing I learned, that as long as you give me your credit, I supposed to pay. Then I get other businesses. Then I start to open out. I went to Miami. I meet with another company sending things for me. I have to pay them. And it continued like that. And I grew and I grew and I grew. I struggle. I get those I get big businessmen in Dominica, go in Trinidad, taking my, how you call it?
Ideas?
No. Trying to take my company from me then. The people who supplying me. And
took over.
Yeah, man, they take over me, and I crying and I crying and I struggling and I struggling, and I say, I'm not giving up. I am not giving up. But I know one thing that make me a successful businessman. The first one is knowing God. The second, I can do maths like that.
You pass like you
No, not with English.
Especially you can come the
English
money
is
and
my
you can do
problem.
it.
English is my problem,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not
the
maths.
maths.
No.
Whether it's measuring, whether
I
it's
end
the
up,
funds,
I start going to Puerto Rico. As I pull the things on the shelf, I can work it out and tell you how much profit. So I know what to leave, what not to leave, what to take, what
Right
not
away.
to take. And I continue there growing with the struggles. And I move. Up to when a fella met me Sunday. He's a millionaire. I say, let me tell you something, my boy. I don't want people to call me that way. But after that, I stand up and I listen to him, and he tell me, Ramsey, let me tell you something. One thing I like about you. I tell him what? He say, you're a humble person. One, you're not showing off. Two, free. You didn't make money to separate you from God. Because every Saturday I seen you taking your Bible and you going to church. And he tell me, man, Morancy, I love that from you. And you're not show off. You're simple, and you're moving with us like we are all one. And when he tell me that, I just feel nice, and I would stay there talking to him.
Wow.
And he tell me, let me tell you something. People will see you. But you see your way you move, they cannot read you. And that's the way I feel we have to live our life, man. It's not. I always say it's not. My son said they already know. It's not money. Because see, right now he running the business. I own my farm. The farm has no profit. But you know why I doing the farming? My boy, on a Friday, I can go buy AC Shillingford on the side of the road there. And all the poor people, the elderly, I can tell them take 2 dashing. I can tell them take a hand of fig. I can tell them take 2 oranges, 2 lime, and don't charge them. I feeling nice about that. I feel nice. If when I leave the farm, I say, okay, I have to make $400 in what I have. If I make $150, I satisfy. Because I know I help people, I give, I let them eat. You understand? Too many times it's a money that's in our mind to make a money. No. And that is the same thing I hear in my son saying there too. Thing is not money. But my son, now I watching him, is he want to run the business that the people will get what they're looking for. And I suspect it's that he's doing. He'll make his money, but he want to get what they want. He want them to feel comfortable, In my time, my price was higher than my son,
Oh, wow.
Now he come into the business and he trying to drop prices. So if it was the money he have in his head, he would say, let me raise the prices. As long as he do, as long as he don't beat, he's not higher than them other spare parts. No, he don't look on that. He look as long as he can make his profit, he try to sell cheaper to people.
Yeah.
And I think that Clifford Morancy take everything from me, I don't know why. and I nearly lose my son. Me and Mr. Fight, I nearly lose him, because and then I realized, oh, that's what you want to do, the devil. You want to take my son from me. And today, as you say there, I will sit down and I will listen to Clifford when he's speaking to me. Clifford has brought a big change in my life. I am not ashamed to say that because of lack of reading. I wasn't reading a lot. I didn't have enough time for school. You understand? And when Clifford really started speaking to me and I could understand him, he changed my life a lot. He can tell you that. I get more quiet. I learn to, give people the benefit of the doubt. Too many times I wanted to feel all what I say I right. No. So he make me understand all those things in life. All those things. And I can say, thank God for him. I mean, Chris is not. Chris, my bigger son, is not here. So, I mean, we're not. He's called on the phone 2 minutes. But every little time I have, two of us sit down and we speak. And I can tell you plenty of things. Say, Daddy, the way you're doing that, it's wrong. Daddy, not so. And sometimes I would say, what you believe in now is my boss. Then I say, no. I need to stop that. I need to listen to him. Because what he's telling me is to make me a better person. Not because I'm the father and he's the son. But let me tell you something. Yeah, I listen to him. And what I do, those things I do now is I don't listen to idle talks. You see, like you, I will listen to you. You can remember when I get that problem with the fella?
Right.
And you speak to me and you tell me how I should approach it. I approach it the same way you tell me. And that is what I do now. I listen to people that can make me better. I listen to programs which can make me better. You understand?
Yes.
So all those things, they are helping me. If you see me on I have my farm here. I maybe will take out a few eggs every day. When I wash in my eggs every day, my phone by me, on YouTube, and I listen to programs that can help me. Because too many times we want to change people, but we're not changing ourselves.
Very good point.
We don't change ourselves. Oh, Mr. Not Good. Mr. Not Good. But we don't seem to, we're not good too, So fix yourself first.
Good point.
And that's what I learned to do now is try to fix myself first before I say Mr. is not good, Mr. is not good. Because none of us is perfect. One perfect person it have. None of us is perfect. So when one person do a mistake, forgive them, work with them. But the thing is, I learned all those things, and all those things try to make me a better person. You see this man there? This man work with me for is himself. Yeah, the boss, not you? Yeah, man, Mr. Work with me a lot. He coming by Caesar. Yeah. He used to come by Caesar, advise I'm talking to me. I can remember him always used to encourage me. Maybe he can remember that. He used to encourage me by Caesar all the time. And I thanking God every day. I thanking God every day that he has chosen me. God has chosen me, because today I would be thinking those kind of ways some people think. No, I don't think that way anymore. I try to put people before me. Always try to put them before you. You understand? People now can't get me. If a man watch me now and he call me, Mashi, why you stupid? No, you only make me laugh. And I try to see how I can win you now to see that before you leave, we are friends.
Stafford, thank you so much for sharing this wisdom
So I just a different person.
Yes, I can see that. I can see the energy.
All those people outside would say Morancy was a rough. I think no, that's not the same Morancy again.
Yes. So as time flies when you're having fun,
nice.
Thank you so much. Time flies when you're having fun.
It's nice. Right. I just glad you. I didn't want to come here, but I glad you You encouraged me to come here,
Yeah.
and I could, speak to people.
Yes.
And I would, by ending, I would tell people, all who can give their life to God, boss, give it to Him,
That's a good one.
because He will direct your path.
Yes.
He's the one opening ways and things for you. You see, when disappointment and things used to happen to me, I used to bawl and say, no, all disappointment now, I call it a blessing, because God know exactly what you can manage, what you can do. Sometimes we ask for things, and if God give it to us, it's waste of time. God will give us what we can manage. So I
Stafford
thank God for
and
that.
Clifford, it
I
sounds
love it.
like we're going to have to have a part 2. Because we're serious Stafford. Because to be honest with you, as Tyra said, we grew up in the village.
Yeah.
And to me, sitting here talking to you, I've seen a different person.
I'm a
You
different
are
person.
not the same Stafford
No,
Morancy I knew when I was a teenager.
No.
And
I
even,
can tell
even
you.
5 years ago,
No.
And I really am thankful, Janice and I are first cousins, I told you. I mean, we have a lot of love for each other. I always respect you as family and so on. And I've been at meetings with you, but you look different. You look more relaxed. I mean, you look like you're living a life, and Clifford and I had some conversations, before, and I want us to enter some of those conversations because I want us to do another show, and I really want to talk about the cross pollination, which is your father said is like you are a clone of him in a way, but I really want us to understand how we talk about DNA, which is a physiological thing, but there's also social DNA, which is the way that we interact with each other and how we can actually change our physiology based on our sociology. So, in other words, while we interact with people, can change us physically. Like you might change what you eat, you might change what you drink because you are socializing in a different context. You said you try to learn things, even while you're washing eggs, you try to look something.
Yeah.
So you feed your mind, and when you feed your mind, you're actually changing your body.
Amen.
Actually. So we want to have that kind of conversation. I know we have a little bit of time, and we have our superstar bad singer in the house right here at the big station. We're going to give her a little bit of time. Clifford, I want to squeeze in a little thing with Fet Kaiche, but what I want to do though, I want to take a quick break. I want to listen to a song again, and then we're going to come back after the break. And I want our co-host, guest artist, to tell us. I know it looks like you were inspired by Stafford's story. It seems so, but you have your own story to tell. So I wanted to tell us a story to the extent that you can, and tell us about the song, its name, what it seeks to do, and how it ties with Peaceology. Let's listen to Get On Bad.
You don't know me, so you can't know my story. Been living in hell, but you just can't tell as I hide it well. Liberation, baby, I need a vacation. I'm built from bed, working on the top of the money, not right. Meditation, that's all we need to maintain strong. Even when you're strong, the frustration go on and on. So don't tell me nothing. Feel the pressure coming down. Just to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm feeling to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm looking to get on by. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Get on by, let me get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm feeling to get on by. Get on by, yes, I'm looking to get on by. One deep frustration doesn't take a hold. Let me get on by. Life can be so hard sometimes. Constantly stressed, trying to make ends meet. And on top of all that pressure, you still have to worry about other people's expectations of you. But forget all of that. Do your best and live. Expectation, to the situation. Hold your head up high and tell yourself you'll be just fine. Whatever your aspirations, baby, just don't let them apply. Pressure, up to you reach the sky. And when you be right, it comes. Yeah, body to the beat of the drum. You're working too hard and you're always on guard. To get on. Get on back, okay, let me see how you get on back. Get on back, oh, I love it when you get on back. Deep frustration, don't take a hold. Get on back, somebody get on back. See you want it. Turn you want it. Come and take it. Get somebody else up feeling you get somebody. Get somebody else looking to get somebody. Deep frustration, don't take a hold. Get somebody, move up you and let me get somebody. Get somebody else up feeling to get somebody. Get somebody else looking to get somebody. Deep frustration, don't take a hold. Get somebody, move up you and let me get somebody.
Yes, yes, yes. Get on bad by Tyra. Well, before we ask her and get her bit of a story, can you believe we are already we have less than half an hour to go. Janice Morancy, Keith, it was a very tough shaking my head, but God was in it. You know, and Gerard Woodall tells us that the Bible says that you should train a child in the things of the Lord, and he surely shall not depart from it. Also, good counsel can come to both the youth and the elder. Thank you so much for your comments. So, madam, we seen you walking up the road. We seen you by a water bar. You talk to who you want to talk to. Don't talk to who you don't want to talk to. Smiling all the time. But we don't know you have all that in you.
Yes.
So tell us about your song, and tell us a little bit about your artistic, who you are, but who you are as an artist, and what motivated the song.
Okay, so I have always loved music, growing up in the church, and my family, a lot of my family members can sing as well. So music has always been a part of my life. And I also did QTS several years ago. And I was the second runner up, I believe. Yes.
You placed
Yeah.
that.
So that was like good exposure for me, to get out there and do what I love. And I took a step back, I guess you could say, for a while. I was focusing on other things, but recently, I've decided to take it more seriously because music has always been my passion, and I feel like it's not the only purpose, but it's definitely a purpose, for me, it's an outlet as well for me to, express myself, and tell my story. And the song came about, there's this producer here, Ali Roll. He posted he posted the song on Facebook. I heard it was a rhythm, so there were two other artists as well on there, and I heard it, and I was like, oh, I really like this beat. And I was like, oh, let me see if I can write something real quick. And the words just started coming to me, and I wrote the song in one night. And that was it. And it was a song that came from my heart, because what the song is really about is, finding the time and the space to decompress, to find something that will help you to release. Because we all go through struggles. We all have different things that may stress us out, frustrate us. And we need to find time to, just let go. And that's what the song is about, just let go and get on bad. And it's my story as well, because, the last 4 years of my life have been very tumultuous. I've gone through several transitions. COVID literally wrecked my life. And it's been very difficult, trying to pick up the pieces of my life. So this song is special to me because it helps me, find hope. And it gives me the courage to continue pushing on and to keep trying, because as long as you have life, as long as you're here, you should Always
Mhm.
try and just keep pushing until you get to that end goal. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, that's good. And I mean, we are saying it's right in the theme of Peaceology. We say that Peaceology is the science and practice of low stress and high joy.
Mhm.
And it is very important that when we work hard, that we celebrate well.
Yes.
We ought to celebrate. And in fact, in Peaceology, when we say that Peaceology is the science and practice of low stress and high joy, we're not saying happiness, right? Because there's happiness and there's joy. And we hear from the good books that weeping may endure in the night, but joy will come in the morning. Joy to the world, the Lord has come. You're not saying happiness will come. It doesn't say happiness to the world. It says joy. What is happiness and what is joy? A lot of people can be happy, but joy in Peaceology is the celebration, the felt celebration of your happiness. Stafford, you could be happy you have a business. You could be happy you have 4 healthy children. You could be happy that you have a great wife. But are you celebrating your happiness? And the celebration of happiness is what in Peaceology we call joy. And there are a lot of people who go through situations of high stress and low joy. They have a lot of stress and they don't even have happiness, let alone happiness to celebrate. And some people have happiness, but they do not have joy with it. You understand? So this is the gift that we're given to the world. And the impression that, as Tyra said, we grew up watching you because we're in the village together, we all watch each other. While we're growing up, you're watching us too, right? And we get joy from seeing each other succeed. We get joy from being able to know that we are in a safe place, that we left something somewhere, we forgot it, and we came back and we met it. We get joy in a young person telling us good morning, or we saying something to them, going to someone's shop and having them say, crack a little joke with you. You understand? We're not just happy, but we are celebrating our happiness. And that is what joy is. So when you say to get on bad, when you say regardless of the situations,
Right.
what COVID, the injustice that COVID has brought to many of us, including yourself, and the way that we all have to pick up the pieces, we have to find ways to celebrate
Right.
that our Creator has given us time to be here. There's a purpose, and there's an expiration date on our forehead when we leave this earth.
Right.
But while we are there, we can make ourselves, our family, and others, even those who believe they don't like us, we can bring joy to the heart. We can bring joy to themselves by the way we carry ourselves and by the things we try to do. And I think in the small village of Trafalgar, in the small Roosevelt Valley, in the small country of Dominica, in the small region of the Caribbean, the small world that we are in, that if we all take on some more of what we have heard from you, what you have tried to do, intergenerational success with your family, Clifford, even as you prepare for the success of your own children, and like to hear about what you have learned from your dad to not bring shame, not let his grandchildren bring shame to his name, right? These things are important for us to talk about because a lot of people, families make great starts and they are poor finishes. You know what I mean? So how can we not lose our pace? And we're not talking here about money. We're not talking here about things. We're talking about good human beings that love. I hope I got it right because that's after the pastor's show. Was it 1 Corinthians 13 that says love is not boastful, love is not puffed up, love, and you can have faith, you can have hope, you can move mountains, but of all the things that will be left standing is love, right? That when you're a boy, you act like a boy. When you're a man, you act like a man, right? And love is the last thing when all things are gone. So if we calibrate our lives towards love, if we calibrate our lives towards low stress, high joy, and so on, this will help us create a much better world. So when I heard her song, I actually heard this song for the first time today. And I said, when she told me about the song, I said, I don't know, I have to listen to it. It's about Peaceology, And then I said, wow, this thing is right on time. So what do you see for the future of the music? And I want to bring you back sometime. Hopefully we can do a show remotely, and this is not the part 2. But what do you want to see for the future of your song, and what do you want to say to your fans?
So I think I'm just looking forward to being able to create, period. I look at myself as a Caribbean artist. I just want to, whatever I do, I want it to reflect the Caribbean.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah. So I just want to create and be in as much into my culture as I possibly can. And and whatever I do will reflect that basically. And I have a video. Well, it's a visualizer for the song "Get On Mad." It's gonna come out hopefully. It's gonna come out very soon, and then we're gonna have the actual the main video for the song, which is what I really want to get to. That's like my main goal for now, because it has a very strong message behind it, like the video that we have planned for the song.
Nice. So where can your fans, where can people interested in your music and your work, where can they find you and learn more about you?
Yes. So my music is on every platform. It's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Also, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Tahira, Goddess of Vibes, or you can also follow me on Facebook at follow me on Facebook at Tahira the Cosmos. So that's TAHIGHRA and the Cosmos, THECOSMOS, and on Instagram is Goddess of Vibes, Goddess GODDESS, of Vibes VIBEZ.
Yes, tell us again. It sounds like you have a few contacts. Tell us one more time.
So I'm mainly on Instagram and Facebook. So on Facebook, it's Tahira the Cosmos, TAHIGHRA, the Cosmos, COSMOS, and on Instagram, it's Goddess of Vibes, GODDESS, of Vibes VIBEZ.
Yes. So, Stafford, Clifford, you guys have any questions or are listening to this young lady that you have seen in the village and thoughts of what she has said tied to your own story? Have any questions or any comments to her?
The thing I want to tell her to continue, because the thing is, I like to see young people, look for something, they really love to do and take it seriously. Because it hurt me when I see young people just, they feel, no way for me. No, you have to keep on trying. I mean, failure will always come, but don't make the failure put you down. Continue to really strive for what you want. You understand? And I always say is music. I mean, God created music, but it depends the words you might use. But music is good, and just get some clean words you can use that you'll get people, to because that song there, I show if you had a CD there, I buy one, or anything, because it's a nice song.
Thank you.
Because it it only showing us not to give up. It's a part of saying not give up in life. You understand? And I wish you well.
Thank you.
And to me, when I come there, I'm going to make you all. But, to me, and as we say there tonight, before I would say that I would have a kind of thing in me. But to me, any young person I see that want to go forward, if I can help, I will help. As long as it's something positive, I will help them. Because, the thing is, you don't want to see your children make it and that one don't make it. It's all of them are young people, and you want to see all of them make it. So that's why I wish every young people, all you work together and try to make yourself better.
Yes.
But I have one other little thing to say, and that's with peace. Okay. I do, peace. You see that peace I really living in now is anytime I feel myself break down too much and I cannot, I remember in that God say, Christ say, my peace I live with you. You understand?
The peace I give
and my peace I give you. So when Christ lived that peace on earth for us, we should always remember that peace is he wants us to live in peace. That don't mean things will be right for us all the time. Things will go good for us. But remember, my peace I live with you.
Thank you so much.
And his peace is study his word.
Yes.
Get his word. Love your enemy. As long as you can do those things, peace will meet you. Since you can love your enemy, You understand? You
Yes.
will get through. So I
Thanks for
wish
that.
you the best,
Thank
my
you.
girl.
Thank you
Continue.
so
You have a
much.
lovely voice.
Thank
Yes.
You
you.
understand?
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
go for it. Go for it.
I
Thank
Go-
you.
I mean, you'll get little things
I
in the
know.
way,
Yeah.
but go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's great
Right.
encouragement,
Go
great
ahead.
wisdom right
Don't
here.
give up. Don't give up.
So, Clifford, we have a few minutes before we leave the studio here. Give us a quick recap. Fred Kaichi, how did it go? Give us a quick thing. What you learned from, what you accomplished this year, what to look for next year.
Okay, so right now is a different cap I win right now, right?
Yeah, switch your voice too.
Yes. So in this year for the feast, like I mentioned, everything I do, when we go forward, is about growth,
Yeah.
right, and improvement gradually. You need to learn to go back sometimes before you go forward, right?
Yeah.
So last year we did it on a smaller scale. This year we just go a little level bigger in the sense of entertainment on its own. I would say, especially for night one, our turnout was really, really good.
Okay.
The intention was to bring a lot more people from the outside in, rather than just depend on the crowd for Trafalgar, Waterloo, Woodmont, Prosper, and so on. We got a lot of turnout from outsiders, a lot, to the point where when we did the daybreak, when we looked at the numbers, a lot of the people remaining were people from outside of the community. When the rest of Trafalgar people we knock out, we sleep in, the rest was outsiders coming in. So that was a big win on that end. The improvements we made, like I said, in sheltering, in the tents, and so on, it really made a big difference in terms of people staying, the longevity of everything, as well as the people that sold there. It was just good to see that people actually got a certain level of income from that event, right? When we moved on to the Juve, that in itself, surprisingly, the numbers there was more than actually for Friday, right? Which was really good, and it was safe. Like I can say, we didn't have any incident to say it stopped anything that we're doing.
And I heard all the other la pushing ping banders.
So let me tell you, Keith lead the way, Keith lead the way. I don't want to say nothing bad about that. Keith lead the way. Everything went out great, and for me, the highlight wasn't the amount of people. It wasn't the charm. It wasn't all that. The highlight for me was I got to see my community working hand in hand again. That was my win, right? I got to see a space where I was used to as a child, where I saw people assisting us in tents. Like I woke up, I was supposed to wake up at 12 o'clock in the morning to prepare to bring up stuff. I overslept maybe 15 minutes after, and honestly, the people that woke me up were a bunch of young kids. I would call them young, kind of that old, but like they're like 18, 19, 20,
Yeah.
and they called me and they woke me up. I was going down in the resource center expecting 1, 2, 3. There were like 8 of them waiting.
I remember.
8. And when I was there carrying those items and they were there with me, I was like, that's why I do what I do. Right? Because you see young people look at you and you don't really understand your impact until you actually see them putting in that level of work and that commitment.
Taking initiative.
Right? And that's why I believe we always do what we do, to inspire the generation after us, and to see them come into it. It took me back a little, and I was like, yo, we in good hands. Like in the community, I can say, if these are the young men that are going to be the ones to take us off from this hole I think we're in, I think they have what it takes to bring us there. And that was the biggest win to me.
Yeah, well, that's a good point to end on. We don't want to overstay our welcome. We have just a couple more minutes here to go. I want to remind you that today is the 12th of August of 2024. Peaceology State, co-hosted here with me, Tahara, and which is the double duty of sitting instead for Patrice, who cannot make it tonight, and being our featured artist. And I would like to do part 2 with both of you. Great music, great inspiration. Let me thank you so much for being here on the console, and callers, thanks for calling in, and viewers, thanks for getting Facebook and otherwise. We will see you on the first week of September when we will be doing our monthly shows. Okay. Thank you again, Dr. Peter Kibi Saint Jean, saying good night. And thanks for supporting Peaceology State.
You don't know me, so you can't tell my story. Been living in hell, but you just can't tell as I hide it well. Liberation, baby, I need a vacation. I'm bill from bill, working on the clock, but the money not right. Meditation, that's all we need to maintain strong. Even when you're strong, the frustration go on and on. Don't tell me nothing. I feel the pressure coming down. They come just to get on by. Get somebody else I'm feeling to get on by. Get somebody else I'm looking to get on by. One deep frustration don't take a hold. Get somebody, let me get somebody. Get somebody else I'm feeling to get on by. Get somebody else I'm looking to get somebody. One deep frustration don't take a hold. Let me get somebody. You know, life can be so hard sometimes. Constantly stressing, trying to make ends meet. And on top of all that pressure, you still have to worry about other people's expectations of you. But forget all of that. Do your best and live. Expectation, any situation. Hold your head up high and tell yourself you'll be just fine. Whatever your aspirations, baby, just focus and apply. Pressure, pressure, up to reach the sky. And when you think about it, come move your body to the beat of the drum. You're working too hard and you're pushing guard high. Get on back, okay, let me see how you get on back. Get on back, oh, I love it when you get on back. One deep frustration, don't take a hold. Get on back, somebody get on back. Take it, see you want it. Tell me how you want it. Come and take it. Get somebody else I'm feeling to get somebody. Get somebody else I'm looking to get somebody. One deep frustration, don't take a hold. It's get somebody, when let me get somebody. Get somebody else I'm feeling to get somebody. Get somebody else I'm looking to get somebody. One deep frustration, don't take a hold. It's get somebody, when